So I'm on the Sheffield Navigational Canal, and you can see these bags of grey gravel, which they're making the footpath more walkable when it's wet. Now, when I did my video on the South Yorkshire Navigational Canal, I thought, wouldn't it be great if, and I've thought this for years, that if they built some nice little houses along the canal, starter type homes, but not these rabbit huts, just some really decent houses. Well, Sheffield Council is going to now build, or have built, 400 houses which will house 1,000 people, and a development called Waterside. They've got a £4 million grant, I understand, from the Brownfield fund of the government to actually clean the area up. Then they'll have 400 timber framed houses built. Now, after this, I'll actually pop along to Waverley and show you some houses. Now, they won't be timber framed, they're actually brick built at Waverley, but they'll give you the gist of what the houses will look like. So they'll have like roof type gardens on them and things like that. It's also going to be a zero carbon development as well. You just can't make it up with Sheffield Council, really can't. Now, this development, I think it's across 22 acres. It's by the side of the athletics ground, and we'll just go up there in a minute. I think it's Ripon Road rather than Ripon Street. We'll find out when I get up there. But this development's going to straddle both sides of the canal. Now, if I'm right, this building may be actually part of the 22 acre site, but on one side it's actually where housing for Attercliffe used to be, and it's just been grassed over, so it doesn't actually affect businesses. But when it straddles over the actual canal onto this side here, it's actually going to affect businesses. So like I say, I don't know if it's exactly this business, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the link in to the Sheffield Star, and in there it'll show you full outline of the site. So let's have a walk up onto Woodburn Road where the athletics ground is, and we'll actually find Ripon Street or Ripon Road up there. I've just come off the canal. You can see Stanford Road down here, so I'm going to take you onto Woodburn Road, and you can see on the left hand side the athletics stadium. Now, this existed before they built Don Valley, and I can't understand why this site wasn't developed for the World Student Games. Did it cost £30-40 million for Don Valley, and it got trashed after 30 or 40 years? Premier athletic stadium in the north of England. Some things just seem so pointless with Sheffield City Council. So on Woodburn Road, you've got the tram track along there. So the development, 22 acre development, will be on this area here. Anything to the right of this road, or this green area. Now, originally, back in the 60s and 70s, Attercliffe was a 15-minute city, but they were local organic businesses. Now we're going back to 15-minute cities, but I don't think they're going to be as organic as businesses were in the past. I think some of the businesses to the right hand side are going to be affected in this. I could be wrong, but if you go into the description, I've put an article in for the Sheffield Star, and it'll show you the full outline showing the development on this side and on the other side of the canal. But this area would have all been housing, and why it couldn't have been regenerated back then, why they couldn't have put new roofs on the properties. why they couldn't have improved the roads, put bathrooms internally. I doubt that they'd have made as much money out of doing that, and that's why it wasn't done that way. You can see Supertram just down there. Well, I've just been speaking to a guy and he filled me in on this. Said I think they've been trying to get this through for 6 years. But these businesses aren't affected, I'm told, in it, so these businesses won't be going. But the problem is when they gentrify areas, what they actually do is all the small little businesses around them get destroyed, and that's actually happened at Kelham Island, and now it's happening up at Neepsam. The problem is once you get these people come in, they don't want the noises around them, so Ripon Street is the main area for it, and you can see down here. Now all the houses would have been on Ripon Street, and I'm told that Ripon Street originally went all the way through, but this area was actually the playground with swings on and a grassed area. So I'm just going to take you through into here. But like I said, rest assured, Sheffield City Council said there's no ulterior motives to a 15-minute city. There's nothing to worry about. But to me, they're not going to be 15-minute cities with organic growth. It's going to be the large corporations that's got the teeth into all of this, and they'll be pretending to be local businesses when they really aren't. With the highly regulated businesses get the teeth into 15-minute cities, and it'll all be about digital. But if you imagine right along there, that is the canal there, and this development's going to straddle the other side. So it starts off as 1,000 people in 400 houses, and then I've seen plans for up to 2,500. They must be new plans for the future, but this would have all been a kids play area and swings and things like that, and same through here. So the community of Attercliffe was a lot nicer than people actually can imagine. Because I thought originally houses had been on here, I'm told no, it was actually a play area and a grassed area. So even though there were lots of houses around, there were lots of areas for kids. So once you jump over to the other side of the canal, the industrial buildings on there is going to get hit. And I showed you one of the buildings, and like I say, I'm not 100% sure if it was in it or not, but I get a feeling it probably is one of the buildings that's going to get hit. But the problem is with the smaller businesses, you don't get the help like the large businesses out there. Large businesses seem to be able to get government grants for moving the businesses and modernising. But your smaller little independent businesses, the guy's trying to work hard doing his actual job, and he doesn't get the help from the government he should do. So what they're doing is actually just destroying small, medium-sized businesses and allowing the large multinationals and corporations to succeed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop down to Waverley, and I can't show you a wooden timber frame building, but what I can do is I can show you the shape of the buildings, and I'm basically going to have, I think, like roof-type gardens on them, and that's what's down at Waverley. Now those houses down at Waverley are like 180 grand, 230 grand. I don't know what the price of these houses are going to be, but I'm guessing that they're going to be gentrifying it, so it's going to be the more exclusive type houses. So this is actually a really green space they're building on. It's not actually old brownfield site at all. So I'll pop down to Waverley now, and I'll pick up down at Waverley. seen the latest artist impressions for Attercliffe, where they're building 1,000 new houses in a smart city, and I thought this was the best way to actually show you what they're going to be like. I'm actually on the middle of the Waverley estate, so it looks like each section across, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a different house, and they've actually got roof gardens in, so where you've got like a peak, it's got like a roof. I think there's a roof garden actually in there, and I'm told that each one's about 230 grand a slot, and then this last one where it's got a square roof on it, because they're actually bigger, is about 280 grand. So it looks like this is how they're going to actually build this 15-minute city in Attercliffe, and that's the best way I got of showing you what it's going to be like. So you like got one car slot or 2 car slots at the most for each house. That's it, take it or leave it. What do you think?